Your palms are slick before you even stand up. The room feels smaller than it did a moment ago. The lights hum faintly above you, warm and unforgiving. You feel it in your chest first, that sharp, sudden tightening, like your heart has realized something terrible before you have. Your name is called. Every pair of eyes lifts at once. Some curious, some bored, some already judging. Your mouth opens, but your mind stalls. And in that frozen second, your brain delivers a verdict so intense it feels physical. This is dangerous. Not uncomfortable. Not embarrassing. Dangerous. So ask yourself this: why does speaking in front of other people feel more threatening than dying? Surveys across decades reveal something unsettling. More people fear public speaking than death itself. Let that sink in. The end of existence feels less terrifying than the moment all eyes turn toward you. This fear has a name: glossophobia, and it's one of the most common phobias in the world. But calling it stage fright barely scratches the surface, because glossophobia doesn't just make people nervous. It triggers panic. It paralyzes thought. It convinces the human brain that social exposure is a form of annihilation. So the real question isn't why people feel nervous on stage. It's this: why does the human mind interpret being watched as a threat to survival? Segment 1. A fear older than language. To understand glossophobia, we have to strip away everything modern. No microphones, no classrooms, no boardrooms, no prepared slides or audience applause. Picture early human societies, small, tightly knit groups where survival depended entirely on social cohesion. Every member had a role. Cooperation wasn't optional. It was the difference between life and death. In those groups, acceptance wasn't just social nicety, it was survival. If you were rejected, mocked, or labeled weak, you didn't just lose status. You risked losing access to food, shelter, protection, and even companionship. Every glance of disapproval, every whisper, every moment of ridicule carried real consequences. To be socially exposed was to become vulnerable. To be publicly humiliated could mean exile, and exile, in a harsh world, often meant death. Your brain still remembers this. The circuits that detect social threat, honed over hundreds of thousands of years, remain active in every human being today. So when you stand in front of a group, even in a brightly lit modern room, your nervous system doesn't recognize presentation. It registers judgment, evaluation, and potential rejection. A silent calculation begins. Do they approve of me? Do I belong here? Am I safe? Glossophobia is not merely a fear of speaking. It is a fear of social execution, written into the very fabric of our evolution. The more people watching, the louder that ancient warning bell rings, echoing the dangers of a time when being seen wrong could be fatal. Segment 2. The brain's betrayal. Here's where it gets darker. Glossophobia isn't something you consciously choose. It happens to you. The moment you anticipate speaking publicly, your brain's threat detection system activates. The amygdala, your internal alarm, fires as if you're facing a predator. Adrenaline floods your bloodstream. Cortisol spikes. Your body prepares for survival. Heart rate increases to pump blood faster. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles tense for action. But there's a catch. Public speaking offers no escape route, so the energy turns inward. Blood flow is pulled away from the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for memory, reasoning, and speech, and redirected to your limbs. This is why your mind goes blank, why rehearsed sentences vanish, why your voice shakes even when you know better. Your intelligence doesn't disappear. It gets overruled. In that moment, your brain isn't trying to help you sound smart. It's trying to keep you alive. Segment 3. The illusion of the spotlight. Glossophobia feeds on a powerful cognitive distortion, the belief that everyone is watching you intensely and judging every detail, your posture, your pauses, your tone. This is known as the spotlight effect, but it feels far more personal than a psychological term suggests. When you speak publicly, your awareness turns inward. Every mistake feels amplified. Every hesitation feels exposed. You assume others notice what you notice. But fear doesn't care about accuracy. It convinces you that one misstep will permanently define you. That a stumble means incompetence, that a pause means weakness, that a mistake means rejection. This fear is especially strong in people who are highly self-aware, perfectionists, deep thinkers, people sensitive to social nuance. Ironically, these are often the people most capable of meaningful expression. But glossophobia punishes awareness. The more you care about how you're perceived, the more dangerous being seen feels. Segment 4, when anticipation becomes torture. For many people, the most excruciating part of glossophobia isn't standing on stage. It's the days or even weeks before. From the moment a presentation is announced, the mind begins rehearsing failure. Every possible misstep is imagined in vivid, almost cinematic detail. You picture forgetting everything mid-sentence, your words dissolving into awkward silence. You picture the audience reacting, judging, snickering, or shaking their heads. Your heart pounds in anticipation, as if the humiliation were already happening. Sometimes the fear becomes so tangible that it triggers physical symptoms: a knot in your stomach, tightness in your chest, a shiver running down your spine. The body reacts as though the disaster is already real. Each imagined scenario strengthens the fear. Your nervous system learns that speaking publicly equals danger. The brain doesn't distinguish between mental rehearsal and actual experience. When the moment arrives, it says, "We've been here before. This ended badly." This creates a vicious loop. Fear triggers symptoms. Symptoms intensify embarrassment. Embarrassment reinforces fear. Avoidance, then, feels like relief, short-term survival. But repeated avoidance slowly reshapes identity. I'm just not a speaker. I'm awkward in front of others. That's not who I am. These statements feel like truth, but they're not. They're the product of conditioning, a pattern etched by fear, rehearsed catastrophes, and the body's ancient survival instincts. Segment 5, the silent cost. Glossophobia doesn't just affect individual performances. It doesn't merely make you stumble over words or fumble through a slide deck. It shapes lives in subtle, almost invisible ways. Opportunities are quietly declined, promotions avoided, meetings skipped, invitations ignored. Each no is rationalized as convenience, but underneath, the fear silently dictates every choice. Ideas remain unspoken, creative insights withheld, perspectives muted. Entire conversations are edited, polished, or erased before they ever leave the mind. Voices, the very expressions of individuality and intelligence, are censored, reshaped, or silenced entirely. People living with glossophobia aren't lacking skill. They aren't inherently shy, incompetent, or unworthy. In fact, many are exceptionally intelligent, articulate, and capable, but their brains are carrying the blueprint of a world long gone, one in which exposure could mean humiliation, exile, or even death. And here lies the cruelest irony. The fear feels personal. It whispers, "You're flawed, you're inadequate, you're failing." But that whisper is a ghost of evolution, not a reflection of reality. Your mind isn't broken. It's performing exactly as it was designed, to keep you alive. Only now, in a modern world of classrooms, boardrooms, and social scrutiny, it's doing so at a devastating cost. Every silenced word, every avoided stage, every withheld idea is a small death of potential, leaving brilliant minds trapped in a quiet, unseen prison of fear. The twist in application. You might not fear standing on a stage, but have you ever hesitated before raising your hand? Ever rewritten a message 10 times before sending it? Ever stayed silent in a meeting, even when you knew the answer? That's glossophobia's quieter cousin. The fear of being judged, the fear of being wrong, the fear of being seen. Every time you choose silence over expression, your brain learns the same lesson. Avoidance keeps you safe, but safety isn't the same as fulfillment. The mind that fears public speaking is the same mind that craves connection, recognition, and meaning. And the tragedy is this: the very act that terrifies us is often the one that would free us. Because glossophobia isn't just about fear, it's about control. Who controls the narrative about you? Your voice or your fear? And if speaking terrifies you, imagine what happens when silence becomes a habit. That question leads somewhere even darker, into the psychology of self-censorship, social conformity, and why humans betray their own beliefs just to belong. And that is why you need to watch the next videos.